Well, good morning. I look fantastic. That is to be expected. It is about 4:30 in the morning right now, and I'm down here in southern Utah, just alongside the town of Big Water. I'm up early this morning because I am about to strap on my backpack and head out into the dark. I'm going on a 2-hour hike up a creek bed here that's right next to me where I'm at, and I'm going to photograph some hoodoos this morning. And these aren't any old hoodoos, but rather the Wahweap hoodoos. I've seen a picture or two of these before, and they look fantastic. The reason I'm getting up at 4:30 in order to go shoot them is because obviously the sun rises in the east, and these hoodoos are facing just directly east. So if I was to go at a more convenient time, like say in the evening for sunset, the sun would be directly behind them, and they would be down, and they're kind of like down in this like valley kind of area on the edge of a ridge line. And if I went down there at night, they would be entirely in shadow. But if I go in the morning, then the sun should be coming up over that ridgeline, and it should, as it gets higher in the sky, it should start to illuminate the hoodoos from the top downward. So at least that is what I think is going to happen, because I've never been out here before. I really do not like, sometimes I enjoy the serendipity of just arriving at a scene and not knowing where I am or where I'm going, and just kind of improvising and trying to find good compositions and interesting photos. But there's moments like these where you're just literally hiking into the dark and you're not exactly sure where you're going. Ideally, I thought about coming out here like in the afternoon, scouting it, and then getting up the next morning and hiking back in again. But I don't know, that just seemed like an awful lot of work and a lot of repeat effort. So I don't know, it seems like a 6 or 1/2 dozen situation to me. So I just decided that I was just gonna get up and I was just gonna go do it, go shoot it, and try to find the best compositions that I can. And then if I really do need to come back and do it again, or feel the need to, then I can always do it again tomorrow. So at any rate, I've got to pack up some stuff and eat a little something, drink a little coffee, and then I'm going to hit the trail. So I'm going to be bringing my camera along with me, this video camera, because I would like to shoot while I'm out there. I will go ahead and preface this now by saying that I'm not entirely sure that that's going to hold. Or if that's going to happen, mainly because if I'm scrambling and I'm trying to take advantage of the light and I don't have time, then I may not be able to, but I'm going to try to. So I guess we'll find out in a minute if that actually happens or not. So, all right, let's get on the trail. So I am on my way. I'm probably at this point about 45 minutes into my hike so far. And I'm a little concerned because the light is coming up faster than I thought it was going to. And I'm already starting to see some color on some of these ridge lines on the western side of this creek bed that I'm hiking through. It's obviously not direct sunlight because sun's not up, but it's definitely starting to come up. And I am not close yet. So I'm just gonna have to try to get there as quickly as I can, and hope for the best. I keep seeing on my hike here is in the reflection of my headlamp, every now and then I'll kind of look around to the left of me or to the right of me, and I'll see a pair of eyes reflecting back. And fortunately, they are very small, very innocent little eyes. They're just little gray jackrabbits. And they have huge ears. Very, very innocent. I think they're just more curious than anything. Why some fool would be hiking up this creek bed before dawn, rambling to himself. Nothing odd about that at all, is there? Not at all. Oh, at any rate, the color is starting to come up on some of these hills around here. And really is beautiful out here. It's cool. It's probably about, I don't know, about 50 degrees out here right now. It does get cold at night, that's for sure. And then in the late afternoon, like around 4 p.m., it is hot. And I mean, not like heat like we have in Atlanta where I live, you know, which is more of like a humid heat. But out here, it is dry as a bone. So dry. I mean, I brought, lip balm and all kinds of like lotion and stuff because I had a feeling that was going to be the case, and sure enough it was. Because, oh man, it is dry out here. All right, so I'm going to shut up about the temperature and all that. I'm going to focus on hiking, and I'm going to... Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I don't know if you can see it, but the light is starting to come up on this hillside right over here. Purple and pink and kind of a coral color. Really beautiful. And crossing my fingers that I get there in time. All right, so I'm just gonna hike, enjoy this light, enjoy this morning, maybe make some friends with some jackrabbits. And I'll see you on the other side. So, the WahHEAP Hoodoos. I had an interesting morning here this morning. I'm not sure if it was quite what I expected it to be. Well, let me just correct that. It was not what I expected it to be. I thought that by the time that I got out here, that it would, still be relatively dark, that, it'd be just before blue hour. And I think I just timed it wrong, or it just took longer to hike into here than I thought it was going to. Whatever the case was, by the time I got here, as I was talking about earlier,
the light was already coming up from the east. And when I walked in, there is one particular hoodoo right down here that is just absolutely fantastic, and it has the best shape, best location. It's just kind of sitting isolated by itself. And I was setting up and I was shooting it, and I turned around and I saw, these hoodoos, and these are like some of the most, famous ones. And I looked at these, and these were all in shadow at the time. And I thought, oh, well, I got some time. Let me just get a couple of pictures of this one down here first. I took one picture of it, and then I turned around to double check. And within, I swear to God, like 5 seconds, the sun had come up over that ridge, and these hoodoos here were already illuminated. So, lesson learned is that if your goal is to kind of shoot these hoodoos in a way so that, they're not fully lit, but maybe like partially lit at the top so that you get a little bit of light up at the top of the hoodoo and then the bottom is in shadow. You have to be set up and ready to go with your composition how you want during blue hour or earlier. And you have to be ready at the shutter as soon as that sun comes up over the horizon, because you have like milliseconds, if that is your intent and your goal. That was what I had hoped to do here today, but my timing just wasn't right, and I just didn't expect the sun to hit quite that quickly, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So what can I tell you about the WahHEAP hoodoos? It is a hike. It is about a 2-hour hike in order to get out here, and it's up a creek bed, and it's really not that hard to follow because it's just a wash. There's no water in it, at least not at the time of year that I'm here. Look at an app like All Trails and look up the WahHEAP Hoodoos, and you will see a path that's on here. That's actually the one that I followed, and it worked perfectly fine. Second tip, the most famous hoodoos that are here at the WahHEAP Hoodoos, there's actually like a few of them. And there's this giant ridge here behind me, and it kind of has these little alcoves that go all the way down. There's like 3 or 4 of them. And each one of them has its own like collection of hoodoos. The ones that are at the very end, you will get here and you'll probably be excited because you're going to see like a few hoodoos, but those aren't the main attraction. The ones that you really want to see, the ones that are the most unique and the most beautiful, are at the end. So even though you got here, you actually have to hike even further in order to see these, because these are the main attraction. These are really, really beautiful. The recommendation, though, absolutely is, to get up early. If you want to come out here, start hiking at about 4:30, I would guess, maybe even 4, so that you have enough time. There's nothing dangerous. It's just basically a creek bed hiking out here. It's really not that big of a deal. Just some very friendly jackrabbits, at least, that I was able to see. The other thing that I would recommend is bringing a wide angle lens. I've been shooting this today using a 24-70, but I think you could also make the case for bringing a 16-35 as well, or just anything under 24 millimeters. And the reason being is because you can, get, fairly close to these hoodoos, and you're going to want to have some kind of wide angle lens in order to shoot them with. So anyway, listen, that is going to do it for this video today. I appreciate your time and attention as always. If you'd like to see some of my other videos from Utah, I probably have at least one up by now, so I'll link to it. Let's see if I can get this right. I think it's this way? This way? No, I think it's this way. I always get confused with this, backward thing. Anyway, if you'd like to check that out, please do. I am also going to be traveling to Death Valley later this year in December. I'm going out there for a week. I'm going to be traveling with a friend of mine for that one, which is going to be really cool. And I'm not done with Utah. I have a few more days here. I'm still living in the camper van, traveling around. And I have a few more adventures to go, so very much looking forward to that. So if you'd like to keep in touch, by all means, please hit subscribe, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time. Time to pack up, and it's time for me to start hiking back.